Distribution systems, with regards to the distribution systems of our goods, we have different methodologies or ways to distribute goods. First is, of course, through tracking. We can also distribute those goods through railroad, no, using different railroads. And we can also distribute those goods through air freight. Next, we have also the waterways form of distribution. And lastly, for the oil, or other liquids that can be undergo the system, which is what we call the pipeline. Hello everyone, good day, and welcome to our next topic, which is all about logistics and supply chain. So, what is the difference between logistics and supply chain? What comes into your mind when you hear the word logistics and the supply chain? So basically, when we say supply chain, this actually includes acquisition, movement, storage, deployment, and distribution of material from the mine to the landfill, or from a source to the destination, from one place to another, or farm to table. In other words, the entire life cycle of specific goods or goods or products or service. So while this, if as you can see here, we have the basic supply chain from the suppliers of the raw materials, component of parts, going to the manufacturer. Then the basic finished goods will be produced. It will now brought to the wholesaler, or the warehouses. Then customized products, if they will customize it, going to the retailers. Then lastly, we have the consumers. Then the information flow nga pabalik. Ito yung mga feedback na ng customer, if ever na okay ba yung ganito or ganyan, ano yung sira, ano yung kulang, pagdating sa quality, okay ba? So basically, ganito umiikot ng supply chain. This is how supply chain works as a whole, in general perspective. Now, when we say logistics, the term logistics actually comes from the military, where it refers to the procurement, supply, maintenance, movement of personnel, and other support functions. So the movement itself from one place to another, from point A to point B, is what we call logistics. I hope you get. And the whole cycle, or the whole series of transportation, is what we call the supply chain. So basically, that's the difference between the two, the logistics and supply chain. Now, we have this term called the logistics management. When we say logistics management, this is an approach that seeks efficiency of operations through the integration of all material acquisition, movement, and storage activities. Now, distribution systems, with regards to the distribution systems of our goods, we have different methodologies or ways to distribute goods. First is, of course, through tracking. We can also distribute those goods through railroad, using different railroads. And we can also distribute those goods through air freight. Next, we have also the waterways form of distribution. And lastly, for the oil or other liquids that can be undergo the system, which is what we call the pipelines. Now, we have this so-called the supply chain economics, which is actually written here. Supply chain provides a major opportunity to reduce cost and increase contribution margin. As you can see, yung mga pinakamalalaking businessman dito is supply chain, buong supply chain ang meron sila. As you can see, from start to finish, meron yan kadalasan. And yun yung mga nagsasucceed dahil yung buong series of supplies is kanila, once na pumasok, kahit man saang parte ng series dyan, ng customer mo, kakailanganin nila somehow, yung ibang part ng series of supply. Yun yung tinutukoy dito sa supply chain economics. Now, with regards to the transportation, before we actually go with the transportation per se, we have actually here the make or buy decision making. Before we proceed with the buying, wherein dito papasok yung logistics and yung ating tinatawag na supply chain na buong series, meron tayong make or buy decisions. And laging present ito sa kahit anong organization. Lalo na if you are talking with manufacturing. No, laging, gagawa na lang ba tayo ng ganito? Especially if ang pinag-uusapan is raw material, no? Gagawa na lang ba tayo nito? Or we were going to buy this, tapos i-assemble na lang natin. Then yung na-assemble na yun, ay yung final output natin. May mga ganong manufacturing firms. No, may mga ganon. Yung iba naman, from scratch hanggang matapos talaga yung product, sila yung gumagawa. They're going to make it. Now, the decision is, of course, when it comes to that kind of decision, meron lagi tayong naka-incorporate dyan na factor, which is yung cost. No? Sabi nga dito, make or buy decision making is a choice between producing a component or service in-house or purchasing it from an outside. Malamang ang primary concern dyan is yung cost. Saan ka mas makakamura? No? Saan mas makakatipid? For the total cost of buying the item, no, this is actually any fixed annual cost associated with buying the product plus a variable cost for each item bought during the year. Or, mathematically speaking, the total cost of buying an item is equal to the fixed cost plus the variable cost multiplied to its quantity. No, I hope you get it. These are the representation of those variables used in this formula. Now, we calculate the total cost of making the item in-house as for the making, no? Ito naman yung formula for if you're going to have your make decision. Total cost of making that item is equal to the fixed cost plus variable cost multiplied to its quantity. Therefore, almost the same, no? Almost the same with the buying. Same variables na used, ang subscript lang is yung make. Now, for the first step in solving the make or buy decision is actually to determine at what quantity the total cost of the two alternatives are equal. Kumbaga sa accounting, this is your break-even point. To do this, we set the total annual cost of buying equal to the total annual cost of making. No? Or kung titingnan nyo yung ating formula, in-equate lang natin sila. In-equal natin. This is the total cost of buying the item and the total cost of making the item. In-equate lang natin. Then, para makukuha natin kung ano nga ba yung quantity na itong total cost ng buying and total cost of making is the same. No, ito lang yan. Ayun, yung kukuha natin. Kaya natin in-equate. Now, we have actually here a sample problem regarding make or buy decision making. Two recent college graduates, Mary and Sue, have decided to open a bagel shop. I hope you are familiar with bagel shop. No? This is a pastry, guys. Their first decision is whether they should make the bagels on site or buy the bagels from a local bakery. They do some checking and learn the following. First, if they buy from the local bakery, they will need new airtight containers in which to store the bagels delivered from the bakery. The fixed cost for buying and maintaining these containers is $1,000 annually. And second, the bakery has agreed to sell the bagels to Mary and Sue for $0.40 each. So, meaning to say, this $0.40 is their tawag ito, VC, no? Yung kanilang magiging variable cost. Now, if they make the bagels in-house, they will need a small kitchen with a fixed cost of $15,000. And if they will make it annually and a variable cost of bagel, which is equals to this $15. Now, they believe they will sell 60,000 bagels in the first year of operation. So, this is actually a forecast. No? And yung forecast na to, ito yung magsisilbi nila na quantity for their bagels na ipoproduce nila. Now, the question is, should Mary and Sue make or buy Buggles? No, saan ang pipiliin natin? Given those data, given those cost, variable and fixed cost, and of course the forecasted quantity, what should they do? No? Should they make or should they buy the Buggles? That's the first question. Now, for the second question, it says here that if Mary and Sue are uncertain as the demand for Buggles next year, ayun, no, given na ito is uncertain, yung quantity, hindi pala daw 60,000. What is the indifference point between making or buying the Buggles? Indifference point, I will define this later, no, on our next slide. Okay. Excuse me. As you can see, I have here the solution, guys. For the letter A, should Mary and Sue make or buy the Buggles? No, as based on our data, ito yung magiging fixed cost for our buy, no, and this will be the variable cost for our buying. Now, next, yung kanina, nabanggit dito, no, 15,000, this will be the fixed cost for make, and ito yung magiging variable cost for make. Quantity, pareho naman sila, 60,000 na forecast. As you can see, direct substitution, walang kahirap-hirap sa mga formula natin. And if you're going to do that, no, algebraically, it will result to $25,000 total cost for buying and $24,000 total cost for making the Buggles. Therefore, the decision should be, no, they should make the Buggles dahil mas mura. No, mas mura. 24K yan eh. Less than $25,000. Of course, ito tayo. Kaya ang nagiging decision natin is to make the Buggles. Mas okay na sila na yung gumawa kaysa bumili sila. Mas mura pa yun. No, I hope you get it. Now, for the second question, if Mary and Sue are uncertain as the demand for Buggles next year, what is the indifference point between making or buying the Buggles? Guys, when we say indifference point, by definition, this is the point of equality. Take note of the term, no? Point of equality between two cost expressions with a common variables. So, again, point of equality. That's why, kung papansin niyo yung ginawa natin sa formula, in-equate natin sila. Ito yung kaninang pinakita sa bandang una ng slide ng mga problems na to, no? Fixed cost of buying the Buggles plus variable cost of buying the Buggles multiplied to their quantity. Equate natin sa fixed cost of making the Buggles plus variable cost of making the Buggles times quantity. Ng direct substitution, walang problema. Ang naiwan lang dito na variable is yung quantity, yung Q. Dahil nga, ang hinahanap natin yung indifference point. Meaning to say, for the solution of this question, hindi natin gagamitin yung 60,000 na forecasted quantity. Kasi ayun nga yung hinahanap. No, if they are unsure of the total quantity to produce, no, ano yung indifference point na kung saan whether their decision is to buy or to make, okay lang. Dahil same yung total cost. And that is actually 56,000 units of Buggles. I hope wala nang problema sa inyo sa part na yan dahil napaka-basic algebra lang yan. Sa high school tinuturo yan ng mabusise, no? So again, indifference point is 56,000 units. So this is the unit na kung saan ganito yung nangyari actual, whether they buy or to make the Buggles, walang problema, no? Dahil pareho lang naman yung resulta ng kanilang total cost. Now, this is actually summarized in this graph. I'll just delete this one. Okay. And I'll use different color. I'll use blue. Or cyan na lang para malinaw. Okay. Kung titingnan nyo, guys, yung make or buy decision making is summarized in this graph. X-axis natin is the quantity demanded per annum. Then yung total cost natin, that will be our y-axis. Okay. Assuming na ito yung quantity natin, kung titingnan nyo, projected siya paangat, no, at this point. Yan, point of intersection nila. Ibig pong sabihin, No, itong point na to, this is actually their point of intersection, which is yung tinatawag natin nga na indifference point. Meaning to say, ito yung na-compute natin na 56. Oops. Ito yung na-compute natin na 56,000. Medyo malabo. Block na lang ulit ako. Delete muna natin to. Medyo masyado siya. Ayan, block na lang tayo. Okay. Ito yung na-compute, guys. Itong point na yan. Ito yung na-compute natin na 56,000. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, wag na kayong tumingin dito sa dalawang to, no? Ang variable cost and yung fixed cost. Anyway, sige, ano ko na explain ko. Kasi ito is parehong make. Tapos ito may make pa. Anyway, yung buy, tsaka yung make, ganito lang yung itsura ng variable cost and ng fixed cost niya. Bakit yung fixed cost? Straight line lang siya. No, straight line lang, pag ganun lang, horizontal line. Kasi po, when we say fixed cost, hindi talaga siya nagbabago regardless of your quantity. So, kung ano man yung fixed cost ng making, di ba, Gel? Check natin dito. Fixed cost of making, ito. Ayan, $15,000. Meaning, yung level na to is 15,000 yan. No, $15,000 ito. Diyan lang ang fixed cost ng making debugger regardless of the quantity. Kaya hindi siya umaangat. Wala siyang slope. Unlike sa variable cost, na kapag zero ang iyong quantity, zero din yung value ng iyong total cost. Ng iyong variable cost. The more na tumataas yung quantity mo going to the right, tumataas din yung variable cost mo. Dahil yung variable cost is nakadepende sa quantity demanded. No, I hope you get it. That's why, ganito yung itsura ng variable cost line and yung fixed cost line. Pareho yan, no? Pareho yan for the make and buy decision. Now, wag na kayong tumingin sa dalawang to dahil nakasummarize na yan for this one, yung total cost of making. And ito naman yung sa isa, yung sa counterpart niya, total cost of buying. Kahit dito na lang kayo tumingin sa line na to, yung dalawang nasa taas. Now, question. If sinunod nila, no, if 60K ang quantity talaga, ito naman yung unang forecast nila. Ano yung magiging decision? No, check natin. I-project natin paangat. Assuming yan. Ang hirap mag-ano sa PowerPoint. Ayan, paangat, no? Kapag ganyan, magkakaroon tayo ng point of intersection dito at point of intersection dito. Therefore, ito yung magiging total cost if mag-make tayo, gagawa tayo at 60,000 quantity demanded, and ito naman ang magiging total cost if magbabay tayo at $60,000. 60,000 quantity demanded. Ibig sabihin na kung ano man yung value na to, we don't know eh. Hindi tayo nag-compute. We are just having the decision virtually, no, based sa ating visualization sa graph. Kung ano man yung value nito at yung value nito, malamang sa malamang mas mababa yung value na to. No, kaya kanina, kung nung nag-compute tayo, ang naging sagot natin kapag 60,000, ang sagot natin is to make. Balikan natin, no, para ma-recap kayo. Kapag 60,000 daw, ito yun, di ba? 60,000 yung units na ginamit, oh. 60,000, 60,000. Anong sagot? Make. Dahil 24,000 lang yun. Ito ay 25. Ibig sabihin, balik tayo sa graph. Yung graph na to, this is actually $24,000. Ito naman, yung point naman na to is $25,000. Ayan, I hope you get it. I hope na nakuha nyo yung analyzation kahit graph lang yung gamit natin. Now, if ever na yung quantity demanded nila yearly is na lang, mga around 50 na lang, kunyari, no? 50K ito. Kapag ipaproject natin yung 50K na yan pataas, ayan, pataas, magkakaroon tayo ng point of intersection dito at point of intersection dito, dalawa. And yung katumbas niyan, ito yung magiging point ng total cost na katumbas niya kapag ang napili nating desisyon is to make debuggle at 50k quantity. And ito naman yung magiging katumbas niya na total cost, itong point na ito. If our decision is to buy debuggle at $50,000. Meaning to say, saan yung mas mura? Of course, itong point na yan. Therefore, kapag 50,000 lang yung quantity, ang decision natin ay buy. Nakakuha nyo? Kapag naman naging 60,000 yung quantity, ang decision natin is to make. Kapag 56,000 ang quantity, ang decision natin is either of the two. Dahil again, no, siya yung intersection, siya yung point of intersection or what we call the indifference point. So, what if ganito? Nagkamali ako ng decision, no? For example, 60,000 yung quantity demanded, pero ang naging decision ko is to buy. Ayun, to buy daw instead na make. Anong mangyayari, sir? Ibig sabihin lang, madali mo lang makikita yung possible na mangyari. The more na tumataas yung demand, dapat dyan ang sagot mo ulit is to make, tama? Pero sa condition na binigay mo, ang naging decision mo, kunyari nagkamali, is to buy. Ibig sabihin, kung titignan mo lang yung pagitan ng make and ng buy. Tignan nyo mo lang yung pagitan nila. No? Which is nasaan? Ito. I-shade ko itong pagitan na yan. Ayan. No, tignan mo yung angle. Or yung difference na lang, no? Yung linear difference na lang. Kung ipo-project mo pa yan papunta doon at paangat dito, the more na lumalaki yung ating quantity, papunta siya ng papunta sa kanan, the more na lumalaki yung gap ng ating line of total cost of buying debuggle and total cost of making debuggle. Therefore, kapag mali yung decision mo, the more na lumalaki yung quantity mo, palaki rin ng palaki yung lugi mo. Nakuha nyo? That's how the make or buy decision works. Now, kabaliktaran naman. What if 50k yung quantity? Tapos, instead na ito yung magiging decision natin, which is yung line ng buying debuggle, ang naging decision mo naman is yung make. No? Again, pareho lang po. The more na lumiliit yung quantity mo, tapos mali yung decision mo, di palaki din ng palaki yung difference mo, yung loss mo. Ganun lang din yung idea, no? I hope you get it. That's how make or buy decision works. Now, the question, is there a possibility that you can still lower the cost of making debuggle? Kasi ayun, nabigay na yung mga data, no? Ang tanong, pwede pa kayang maging mura yung gastos of making debuggle? Of course, the answer is yes. No, paano po mangyayari yun? By the usage of the outsourcing idea. When we say outsourcing, guys, this is the procuring from external sources, services, or products that are normally part of an organization. Kumbaga yung mga part na, may maraming ganitong companies, no? Ina-outsource nila yung mga services or products na kailangan ng organization. So, anong advantage ng outsourcing? When we say outsourcing, pinakaunang advantage niyan, of course, we can save time, no? And time to cut cost. We can save time by cutting cost. Ayan, cost savings tayo. Yun yung pinakauna. Yun nga kasi yung goal, no? Based sa question. And next na advantage na, we can gain outside expertise. Bakit? Dito na kasi nangyayari yung, ganito pala yung ginawa nila kapag ganito yung problem. Na hindi mo magiging idea kung hindi ka nagpa-outsource. No? Kasi outside knowledge siya. Na hindi naman ikaw yung expert for that specific job. No? Third advantage is improving operations and services. Of course, dahil yung raw mats mo or yung part ng system mo is in-outsource mo na sa mas magaling na mga experts and companies. No? Dahil ayun talaga yung field nila, edi mas magiging okay yung impact sa'yo as a whole. Now, for the disadvantage naman ng outsourcing is yung cost naman natin ng transportation yung aangat. Ito lang yung negative side. Kaya magkakaroon pa rin siya ng computation. Dahil kung sa advantage, di ba, sabi natin, napababa natin yung cost ng mismong product. Yun nga lang, nadagdagan naman tayo ng cost pagdating sa transportation. And next disadvantage is negative impact on employees. Bakit siya kaya magiging negative impact on employees? Actually, kasi kapag nag-outsource tayo, ang iisipin ng mga employees natin, kaya siguro nag-outsource kasi tingin sa atin hindi natin kayang gawin yung specific task na yun. O di kaya, kaya pala siguro, ano lang to, haka-haka lang ng mga employees. Kaya siguro nag-outsource si management kasi unti-unti nang nililipat sa labas, tapos magsasara na tayo. Pwedeng ganon, no? Hindi natin control yung mindset ng mga employees, eh. Lalo na yung mga nasa workforce talaga. Kaya nagiging negative sa kanila somehow yung outsourcing. Yung idea ng outsourcing. And next disadvantage is yung creating future competition. Paano po naging disadvantage ng outsourcing ito? Creating future competition, pwede siya maging disadvantage dahil nakikita mo kasi yung ginagawa ng ibang company for that specific job na in-outsource mo. So, more likely na pwede mo silang i-compete, no, in the future, or the other way around, yung mga idea na nakikita nyo sa kanila, pwede mo sabihin sa kalaban, no? Nasa inyo na yan kung if you're doing business ethically or not. That's the one of the disadvantage ng ating outsourcing. And yan, pagdating sa outsourcing, meron tayong mga paraan kung paano natin in-evaluate yung risk for the outsourcing. Para itong sa physical facilities, I hope you still remember the physical facilities sa topic. We have factors, or we have different procedures for evaluating our alternative locations on that topic. Dito naman sa ating outsourcing, now we have different outsourcing risk rating factor methodologies. So those two are the rating international risk factors, and yung second one is the rating outsource provider. Again, for the rating factor, we have two. The first one is all about rating international risk factors, and the second one is rating outsource provider. Okay, let's start for the first one, the rating international risk factors. Example, rating international risk factors. Toronto, airbags. I hope you're familiar with airbags. This is for the safety of the people inside the car. Ito yung itsura niya. Ayan, airbag. Toronto Airbags produces auto and truck airbags for Toyota, Ford, Honda, and Nissan. It wants to conduct a risk assessment of outsourcing manufacturing. 4 countries, which are China, Philippines, Korea, and Japan. So, ito, parang ang iniisip nila, titignan nila yung mga risk factors, no, kapag in-outsource nila yung manufacturing. Saan nila i-outsource yung kanilang manufacturing firm? Pwedeng sa China, sa Philippines, Korea, and Japan. Toronto's management identifies 9 factors. So, 9 factors yung risk, no? And rates each on a 0 to 3 scale. 0, ang no risk. Tapos 3 yung high risk. Ibig sabihin to, no, mas mataas, mas delikado yung, mas mataas na score, mas delikado, mas mababa, mas okay. So, meaning to say, ang pipiliin natin for risk factors is yung mas maliit na risk, of course. Now, here are the risk factors na napili nila. For the labor cost, risk, ang pinaka-risky daw is sa Korea. Malamang mas mahal yung labor cost. For the capital availability, risky si Philippines, no? So, infrastructure, ano pa yung mga risk? Infrastructure, language, social norms, uncontrolled, ideology, instability, legalities. So, these are all external factors, guys, like what we have discussed before on the physical facilities topic. So, kung ano man yung mga naisip nyo na mga risk factors na tingin nyo pwedeng ilagay dyan, yes, pwede nyo isama kung gusto nyo. Mas marami, mas maganda. So, ito, subjective ito. Pinagmimitingan ito ng mga management natin kung ano-ano yung dapat na ilagay nating risk dito. No, parang ganito. Naglagay tayo ng risk number 3 for legalities under China and sa Japan. Ibig sabihin, parang nakikita natin na, possible na magkaroon tayo ng problema pagdating sa legalities sa mga bansa na to. Pwedeng dahil sa sobrang higpit nila, or baka pwede naman na yung products natin is medyo taliwas sa batas nila, something like that. Kaya ganun yung naging risk score mo. Tapos sa Pilipinas, ito legal to sa Pilipinas. Tapos wala tayong problema dahil hindi naman ganun kahigpit yung law nila pagdating sa ganitong product. Pwedeng ganun yung idea. No? And what we're going to do is just to sum it up. No? Sa China, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 3, 8. 8, 7, 11, and 10. This is the total. Therefore, ang pipiliin natin dyan, sabi dito, based on these ratings, Philippines is the least risky of the 4 locations being considered. Bakit po Philippines? Dahil 7 lang yung risk score niya. That's why ayun yung pipiliin. So, ganun lang ina-assess yung risk pagdating sa ganitong uri ng problem. No? So, the question is, what if the social norms in China have been just risk-scored by an economist, and the new rating is no risk? How does this affect Toronto's decision? So, no risk na daw yung social norms ng China. Balikan natin yung table. Where's the social norms? Eto. So, no risk na, meaning 0 na to. So, minus 2 tayo dito. This is 8 will be 6. Ito na. 6 na tayo. Hindi na Philippines, no? Yun yung magiging sagot natin for this question. No? Check na natin kung tama. Ayaw maklik dahil ako. Ayun. No? Choose China with the risk factor of 3, which is the same sa na-compute natin as 336, no? Pareho sa ating na-compute. Now, that is actually for the rating international risk factors. Now, we can move to the rating outsource provider. Okay? So, outsource provider naman yung i-rate natin. Kanina, mga international factors. So, for our example, no,
It's
for our outsource provider, it says here that the National Architects Incorporated, a San Francisco-based designer of high-rise buildings, has decided to outsource its information technology function. Ayun, i-outsource daw nila yung IT function nila. Then, 3 outsourcing providers are being actively considered. Outsourcing providers are being actively considered, and those outsourcing providers are coming from US, United States, from India, and one in Israel. Now, the National Architects Incorporated VP for Operations, which is Susan, has made a list of 7 criteria that she considers critical. No, critical for her. These are the critical areas na critical criteria na dapat nilang i-consider dahil pwedeng maging cause ito ng negativities if ever na doon sila maglalagay ng outsource, no, yung pipiliin nila na outsource provider. After putting together a committee of 4 other VPs, she has rated each film and also placed an important weight on each factors. So, as you can see here are the factors na napili nila. First factor is yung can reduce operating cost, can reduce capital, skilled personnel, can improve quality, can gain access to technology, can create additional capacity, aligns with policy. Now, yung importance weight naman, this is subjective. Dapat mag-total ito ng 100% or in our case, since naka-decimal siya, dapat ang total nito is 1. No, so, subjective, sila yung nag-decide yan. Depende kung ano yung importance ng factor na yan for them. No? Parang sa physical facilities natin na factor rating. Okay. For the can reduce operating cost, sabi dito, mas okay daw si US dahil 5. No, 5 yung score na binigay nila. Guys, when we say factor rating, mas mataas, mas okay, no? Kabalik na lang to nung kanina. Kasi sabi niya dito, no, can reduce operating cost. Kaya daw magbawas ng operating cost. Eh di, okay, taasan natin pag kaya nila. Ganun yung idea. Same with, capital. Can reduce capital. Eh di, mas mataas. No, kung kaya nila, mas mataas ang ibigay mong rate. Kaya ito yung mga nabigay nilang rate. No, meaning to say, what we will going to do next is to multiply itong mga to para meron tayong input for this column, no, these 3 column, then i-total natin sila, okay? So, let's have the computation. 0.2, I hope you have your calculator para masabayan nyo ako. 0.2 times 5, that is 1. So, let's write here 1, nawala ang aking pen. So, 0.2 times 5, that is 1. Meron pa ba ito? 0.2 times 5, this is 1. Wala nang ibang 0.2. Okay, yun lang, no? Next, 0.2 times 3, that is 0.6. Dito tayo. 0.6. Saan pa yung ibang may 0.2 times 3? Times 3. Ito, 0.6. Wala na, no? Next, we have 0.2 times 2, that is 0.4. Sorry. 0.2, tama, no? 0.2 times 2. Ito, sa Israel tayo. 0.2 times 2 is 0.4. So, lagay natin dito. 0.2 times 2, same with dito. Ayan, 0.4. Oops, patungan na lang natin. 0.4. And, ano pa? 0.2 times, ito, 0.2 times 2, that is 0.4. Okay, next. 0.2 times, ito tayo sa can reduce capital and sa US. 0.2 times 4. So, we have 0.8. Same sila with India. 0.8. Ayan. Okay, yun lang naman, no? Next, puro 0.1 na lang. 0.1 times 5. That is 0.5. Ito. Same with this cell. Saan pa may 0.1 tsaka times 5? Ito. 0.5. Okay, yun lang. Next, we have 0.1 times 3. That is 0.3. Ito, 0.3. Ito, 0.3. Ito, 0.3. Ito, 0.3. Ito, 0.3. Next, ito namang cell na to, 0.1 times 2. So, we have 0.1 times 2. That is 0.2. 0.2. 0.1 times 2. That is 0.2. Ano pang kulang? Ayun, ano na lang tayo. 0.1 times 4. Of course, that is 0.4. Same with this cell sa baba, no? 0.4. Ayan. Now, guys, what we're going to do is to sum it up. For the US, we have 1. We have 0.8. We have 0.4, we have 0.5, 0.5, 0.2, and 0.3. Okay? Total niya is 3.7 for US. Okay, next for India, we have 0.6, 0.8, 0.6, 0.3, 0.2, 0.4, and 0.3. Total, 3.2. Okay, next for the Israel, 0.4, dalawang 0.4, plus 1, plus 0.3 na dalawa, and 0.5 and 0.4. Total niya is 3.3. Yan, meaning to say, just like what I have said before, no? Sa ganitong uri ng computation, ang pipiliin natin is, of course, yung positive. No, yung mas malaki. And, if that's the case, pipiliin natin yung 3.7, which is C, US. That's why, in our conclusion, sabi niya dito, Susan, which is the VP, Susan selects US since it has the highest overall rating of 3.7. So, yan. Question is, what if Susan decides that skilled personnel, nasaan yun? Ito. Okay, anong meron sa skilled personnel? Tuloy natin. Should instead get a weight of 0.1. Ayun, nag-iba yung weighting. 0.1 daw. And aligns with policy should increase to 0.2. Check natin ha. Skilled personnel, dapat ito daw is 0.1. Mali daw ito. Nag-iba yung ano nila, nag-iba yung weighting nila, kunyari. Tapos, ano yung isang condition? Aligns with policy, dapat daw 0.2. Ito. Aligns with policy, dapat daw ito is 0.2. Ibig sabihin, ang tanong niya kasi, how do the total scores change? Ibig sabihin, magko-compute ulit tayo. No? So, yung 0.1 na bagong weight natin for skilled personnel, multiply natin sa 3. No? Ito sa 2, 3, and 5. So, 0.1 times 2, that this will be 0.1 times 2, this will be 0.2. No, itong 0.4, hindi na isa 0.4. 0.2 na lang. Next naman, 0.1 times 3, of course, this is 0.3 na bawasan. And ito is 0.5. Excuse me. Ayan, 0.5 siya. Okay. Next, sa baba naman tayo. Aligns with policy daw, instead of 0.1, dapat daw siya is 0.2. So, let's multiply 0.2 times 3. That is 0.6. So, ito ay instead na 0.3, magiging 0.6. Nya, pareho sila, no? 0.6 na rin ito. Tapos, ito, 0.2 times natin sa 4, times 4, that is 0.8. So, mag-i-increase siya sa 0.4. 0.4 plus 0.4, magiging 0.8 siya. Now, ano na yan total? Dito na natin tingnan, no? Ito, nabawasan ng 0.2. Nabawasan to ng 0.2, guys. Nabawasan ng 0.2. Ito naman, nadagdagan ng 0.3. Ibig sabihin, pangkalahatan, nadagdagan tayo ng 0.1. Ibig sabihin, 3.7 plus 0.1, this will be 3.8. Ito yung bagong scores, no? Sa baba ko lalagay. Okay, let's check this one. 0.6, naging 0.3. Ibig sabihin, nabawasan ng 0.3. Ito naman, 0.3, naging 0.6. Ibig sabihin, nadagdagan ng 0.3. Therefore, walang nabago, no? Pareho pa rin. 3.2 pa rin for the India na scores. For the Israel, itong 1, naging 0.5 na lang. Nabawasan siya ng 0.5. And ito, na 0.5 ang nabawas. Ito, from 0.4, nadagdagan ng 0.4 ulit, kaya naging 0.8. No? So, ito, since ito 0.5 ang nabawas, dumagdag dito is 0.4, mas malaki pa rin yung nabawas natin. No, mas malaki pa rin ng 0.1. Therefore, 3.3 minus 0.1, this will be 3.2. Now, i-compare natin sila. 3.8 is of course greater than 3.2. No, and 3.2 and 3.2, pareho na sila dyan. Ibig sabihin, kahit pa magbago, sa ating computation, kahit pa magbago yung rating nila for skilled personnel and for aligns with policy, 3.8 CUS, no, siya pa rin yung pipiliin. Check na natin kung tama yung ating naging decision. No? Click ko lang ito. Click answer. 3.8, 3.2, 3.2. Still choose US. Yun. No? So, meaning, tama tayo na if that will be the case, no, US pa rin ang pipiliin nila as their outsource provider. So, that ends up our discussion for this topic. I hope you get it. I hope na-explain ko ng detalyado and step by step. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your participation. See you again online on our next discussion. Keep safe always. Bye-bye.